Hey everybody, welcome back to Walking with Jesus Daily. We are in day 294. I gave you a little break yesterday by not taking up most of your day with my yapping, but there's a lot there, and there was something, I forget what it was that I wanted to say. I don't remember what it was now. Just about that whole situation with Judas. It's just kind of heartbreaking to read something like that. To betray Jesus for what? You know? But anyway, we will dig in today, and if I remember what it was that I wanted to say, I'll say it, and if not, we'll just dig into day 294, where we pick up where we left off. And I'm just confused with Judas because, like, that Jesus knows, and you do it anyway. Do you see how we're no different? Like, we know that Jesus knows what we're thinking and what we're doing. We have hidden nothing from him. Nothing. We've hidden nothing from him. Like, hold every thought captive. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Read it. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus. Do not quench the Spirit. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-19. I'm not quoting scripture to be like, oh, wow, look how smart Dan is. No, I literally have to live by these things. If I don't make it through the day. Put on the full armor of God. Why? So that you can extinguish the fiery darts of Satan that will be thrown at you constantly. And be reminded that we're not fighting against people. That's not our war. Our spiritual warfare is against the evil powers of darkness, against the principalities, against the great powers. Like, that is what we're fighting. I mean, come on, right? So, with that being said, what are we doing? What is Judas doing? Why would he do this? So, anyway, his story is confusing to me. My story is confusing to me, so I don't know why I'm surprised or whatever by him. But anyway, this next thing we're going to talk about today is going to be the Passover, right? And I'm like, how could he possibly have gone and sat with Jesus, knowing that he was betraying him, right? So, you say, how could he do that? And then I think about myself, and for so many years, I have no problem just showing up at church and smiling and making sure everybody thought I was good and special, but, I was just a sinner. I just literally did evil things. And then I sat in that church and I took communion like I was a saint. And I felt dirty a lot. A lot of times I felt dirty. But if it sounds like you right now, can I just plead with you to stop? Jesus knows. What is stopping you? Are you afraid? Fear comes from Satan, not from God. Are you worried? Worry comes from Satan, not from God. All right, sorry. Day 294, Matthew 26:17 through 19, Mark 14:12 through 16, Luke 22:7 through 13. Let's see what we got. Now on the first day of unleavened bread, so this must have been the next day, right? Because there was 2 days before. The disciples came to Jesus saying, not one of them addressed the fact back here in Matthew that he says, that after 2 days the Passover is coming and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified. Not a word. Okay, just making sure that we're all on the same page here in Matthew. Okay. Now, on the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Where will you have us prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.' And the disciples did as Jesus had directed them, and they prepared the Passover." All right, this is Matthew's account of it. Now we're going to do Mark's account of it. All right. Mark's account. And on the first day of unleavened bread, when they sacrificed the Passover lamb, his disciples said to him, "Where will you have us go and prepare for you to eat the Passover?" And he sent 2 of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the city, and a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him, and wherever he enters, say to the master of the house, 'The teacher says, where is my guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples?' And he will show you." He will show you a large upper room, furnished and ready. There, prepare for us." And the disciples set out and went to the city and found it just as he had told them, and they prepared the Passover. Not strange at all. Luke 22:7 through 13. Then came the day of unleavened bread, on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed. Do we understand what's happening here? Jesus is about to change the Passover completely. See, originally, God had made it so that death would pass over those who had the blood of a lamb on their doorposts. And inside, they were prepared to go. They didn't even have time to leaven the bread. They were literally going to run out of Egypt quickly. And Jesus changes this all up. See, it's his blood now that keeps us from death. And the unleavened bread is us running, sprinting from a life of sin, from death. We ain't got time for no leaven. We are running away from a life we once lived. We're not cleaned up versions of ourselves. We're literally dead to a way of life and alive in a completely new one. The pinnacle of life as a Christian is not when they're baptized. That's the beginning. So Jesus sent Peter and John, now we have more details, saying, "Go and prepare the Passover for us that we may eat it." They said to him, "Where will you have us prepare it?" He said to them, "Behold, when you have entered the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you." Now remember, that at this point, the chief priests and they're all like trying to kill Jesus. Okay. When you've entered the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Now, Chosen did this kind of interesting, where they were like, men don't do this in the middle of the day, women do, and it's not in the middle of the day, it's in the morning, but this might have been what made it different. I don't know those facts, okay? I'm not here to spew a bunch of facts to you. I'm here to try to open up your mind to the spiritual aspects of what Jesus is teaching always, because it's spiritual. It is good to have some background. It is good to know what's going on. 100%. Please go look that up. Follow him into the house that he enters, and tell the master of the house, the teacher says to you, where is the guest room, where I may eat the Passover with my disciples? And he will show you a large upper room furnished. Prepare it there. And they went and found it just as he had told them, and they prepared the Passover. Notice that they didn't complain. We don't have any information here that they said there's got to be an easier way. This seems kind of dumb. Why would we do it that way? Why would there be... There wasn't any questions. There was just obedience. Why didn't Jesus do it a different way? Why wasn't he just give them the address and be like, they'll be waiting for you? He didn't do it that way. Do you see how Jesus works? Do you see how God works? We're like, God works in mysterious ways. No, it's straight up strange and weird sometimes, okay? That's what it is. Why? Stop asking why. Why do you have to know? Why do you have to understand in order to do it? Why can't you just do what he asks? Like, those are some good why questions. Let me tell you what aren't good why questions. Any other one. The rest of them are garbage why questions, okay? You don't need to know. When you're smart and all-powerful, and you have all wisdom and all knowledge, then maybe. But until then, why don't you just listen to God? If he sends you somewhere to do something weird, just go do it. Who cares? If you don't ever see the fruit of that labor, who cares? It may be something that's heard about 2,000 years later. Who knows? All praise and glory and honor go to God, so why do you care? Why don't you just be filled with joy that you can be used in some way? Maybe it's just to see if you'll do it. You ever like send your kids to do something like super weird just to see if they'll be obedient? I do. So what's our spiritual message or lesson in this? I mean, it's like, okay, well, Jesus just sent them to do something and they did it. I don't understand what the big deal is. That's the big deal. My time is at hand. He sent them, specifically sent Peter and John to go do something for him. Be ready, thankful, excited, but can I ask you to just get rid of the question why? Can you just save it? Can you hold it? Just hold on to it. Someday you'll get to ask it. Someday you may get to ask the question why. But until then, can we just instead like say wow? Like it's 3 letters, it starts with the W. Can we just say wow? God is using me. Wow. I don't understand this at all, but I know that God does, and that's kind of amazing, and that's worthy of a wow. Like, why not wow instead of why? Another 3-letter word is yes. Why not yes, Lord, instead of why, Lord? If things are happening that you don't understand, that's probably a good thing. In a world where knowledge is king, how about Jesus be king? Like, wouldn't it be better if you didn't understand or know why something was happening? Wouldn't that make more sense? And you can be like, this has got to be the work of God, because no one can explain it. Yeah, I'm talking to me too. I'm super dumb sometimes. You ever get overwhelmed? I get overwhelmed. You ever get tired? I get tired. You ever have days that's just hard and you're just like, okay, I give up. Just come back today. I can't do it anymore. Actually, I just don't want to do it anymore. So can you just do something about this? You ever said those words? I have. I think I said those words yesterday. Some hard stuff in this life and in this world. And that's okay. Let God reign. Let Him be supreme. Say wow. Say yes. Just go and do and live and love. And it's probably better if you don't understand. Just make your goal to be obedient without understanding. Let people question you and make you think like you have lost your mind, because you have. See, the mind you once had is being transformed, Romans 12:2. You are being transformed by the renewal of your mind. Let God have His way with you. Go do weird, strange things that you're led to do. Don't do weird, strange things and be like, look what I did for you, God. Wasn't that weird? Don't do that, okay? That's not what's happening here. Peter and John weren't like, okay, Jesus, we're going to go find you a place. Here's how we're going to do it. No, that's not what they did. Okay? Go. Love God. Be who you're supposed to be. Be who He created you to be. I love you guys. Another short one for you. You're welcome. Lots to think about. I'll see you tomorrow.